is In the Shadows Podcast. Lots of cigar talk, but if it's going on in the world, we'll be talking about that too. And by the way, the fellas don't shy away from controversial topics. Trust me. So grab that stick, kick back with your favorite drink, and let's do the thing. This is the In the Shadows Podcast. Now your hosts, Tony the Soy Sauce Assassin, along with Albert, Martine, and Eric.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Shadow Smokers Legion in the Shadow Podcast. I'm your host, Tony the Soy Sauce Assassin. And today, join us, we have Eric, we have Martina Maya, and then we have somebody named Rick.
Yay.
Yeah. So Rick, he have his obviously his channel. Is also a YouTube reviewer, part of Shadow Smokers Legion. We just never have him on the channel because once he talk about Pokemon, he never stops. So
Charmander is a
yeah. Shh.
Agumon is my favorite Pokemon.
So today we have him joining us because to me at least, I still see him as like a semi-beginner smoker. I think that he will actually have some good input about today's topic. And today's topic is, what should different people smoke at a different level? All right. And then we got to separate by this. Okay. Beginner is between 0 to 2 years. And then I would say average smokers between 3 to 5 years. And then, advanced smoker, I'm going to put it anything above 5 and up. Okay. And what I think this is going to help is for those people who's not sure which path to take. Once they start smoking or smoke for a while, which path they take. And being someone that buys a lot of random cigars, I think, we can all have a little bit input on what you can give it a try. Okay, give a small try on certain brands. Sorry, okay? So before we start, should we talk about bundles, like short filler bundles?
Short filler bundles. Well, that's that is kind of like in the beginning because you don't even know what's short filler or what long filler or what's Cuban sandwiches and all that, right? Once you're like in beginning stage, you don't know that. You just, it's a cigar. Just
Yeah, when I first started out, it was basically me going to JR and getting a whole bunch of their bundle sticks. Their variation of Montes, their variation of this brand, this variation, or imitation brands or blends or whatever, with a short filler. But I had my humidor filled to the brim. I was just starting to get the taste of tobacco, trying to understand how, I'm looking at people's videos, and they're saying, they get chocolate, they get this. When I was smoking it at that time period, all I'm getting is just earth, dirt, tobacco, and smoke. So getting the imitations compared to the real ones was definitely budget friendly, but it kind of gave me the stepping stones to where I'm at today.
Now, I personally think that the problem with the bundle stick is that because they don't have a lot of flavor, that you'll make you feel like you can't pick up flavor.
I think that was not
a lot of flavor.
Yeah, because I was confused. I'm like, I'm not getting shit.
It could. I think it's a good way for beginning to get used to the timing of the cigar, right? Because it takes a long time to smoke through a cigar, and you could get used to sitting there for like an hour.
But bundle stick are usually shorter too, right? 45 minutes.
Yeah,
45 to 60.
Yeah, but
also not to inhale.
You could use it as
not to inhale.
Yeah, you could get used to the timing of just sitting, puffing, or just don't mess up the cut. Don't cut it like halfway down. Stuff like that.
Now, I think before we do that, it's worthy to mention those bundle sticks that you see for house blends are usually made by the same company. They just rebranded. So even if you can't find it, if we name a specific cigar like that's bundle, you can't find it, I'm pretty sure you can find a similar one in another shop. They usually, let's say, we'll start with the beginner, right? If you're a beginner, you need to distinguish being able to tell the difference between Habano, Connecticut, and Maduro, right? And those three are the most common to be found for a bundle stick. Every shop pretty much have a house blend that has a bundle stick.
Yeah.
Right. But aside from the bundle stick, which you can get, that's about like what, $4 to $6 range. Cigar, you can always get them to start. And I would say get a 5-pack of each and then find out which one you like first, Connecticut, Habano, or Maduro. Because usually when there is a bundle, they're not very strong, and you can kind of figure out what you like. You're not going to pick out a lot of flavor, but at least you can tell whether or not, yes, I like it, or no, I don't like it. Right?
Yeah, I think that's usually for every beginner, right?
Right. We start there, right?
Yeah.
But after that, you start moving forward. Now, I think we're not going to talk about flavor cigar because that really doesn't apply, because it's not going to help you in your cigar journey other than the fact that you're smoking something, right? So we're going to skip those.
There's a lot of misconception of flavor cigar that, it's good for beginners. You know, let's knock that out the park. It's not good. It's not a good idea.
Yeah,
artificial flavoring. Right, there's a lot of argument on that in terms of it has flavor, it's easier to accept. But once you get used to that flavor, you're never gonna get regular flavor. You really need to. It's like drinking beer, right? You don't go straight to craft beer. You gotta start drinking regular beer and then go, okay, I can taste that. You're not gonna, if you go drink some beers like orange flavored beer, you're not tasting beer. It's not beer.
Or you see the concept of Kool-Aid. You know, Kool-Aid is sugary and artificial to the fucking brim, and then you make your own fruit punch. So you have the red, the Kool-Aid, and then you get yourself a real apples and oranges and bananas, and get the actual fruits. Blend them all together, and you try it. It's two different universes.
If you start drinking flavor beer, the moment you change brand, that's not flavor, you're not gonna like it.
Exactly. That's the point I was trying to make. You get so used to Kool-Aid being super sugary, very just its own thing, and then trying like legit fruit punch juices, it's gonna taste different and weird, and you might feel clumps of whatever. Or even people who use like instant mashed potatoes versus, actually making real mashed potatoes. I have known people like my sister that she can't do real mashed potatoes because she feels the clumps of the potatoes. That's just how it is. But with the instant, it's just powder with milk and butter, and boom, it's two different things. She can never go into the real thing because she's too used to instant. That's how I kind of see people who are only into flavor cigars.
Well, isn't that like kind of like up to like the personality? Sometimes the personality change, right? Like as we get older, we get like bitter and more spicier, more other things that we enjoy in life, right? I think
you realize flavor, right? Different. A lot of time you realize that the flavor that you don't like, even you don't like it, that's a flavor.
Yeah, that's a flavor.
You learn to enjoy it a little bit.
Yep.
So now that we got bundles out of the way, so like basically stage one is bundle, your local bundle, whatever bundle you can find. Okay, let's start with each one of you kind of drop one brand that you think is beginner. We'll start with Martin. Martin, what do you think is a brand that they should start after the bundle?
I think with starter cigars, like for me as an example, I went and I picked up like Gloria Cubana and some Drew Estates and just stuff that you see on a regular basis, like maybe some Montecristos, just so you can figure out what you like, and get a little bit more flavor than the house blends or whatever they may have in there.
Okay. I think that also is too in depth of what I think beginners should be looking for. But we'll continue from there. We'll kind of loop back on that particular topic. Eric, what do you think? Like, name one brand that beginners should be trying.
Oliva.
Yeah, Oliva is one of those brands that not only they have bundles, they have bundle sticks for their O, their G, and stuff like that.
Yep,
and then
they have everything for beginner. Like it's ready to go in every single category. So
yeah, O, G, and then I would say don't go straight to the V. Leave the V for when you're a little bit used to it. Like, a few weeks, a few months in, then go to the V. Start with the O, the G, and there's one that has a particular name, like Jur something. What is the name? That has a name to it. It's not just they they have the cane, which is too strong for regular people. So if you go to Oliva section, you got to find cane. Skip those for now. And they have the Gilberto Oliva Reserva Blanc. Very standard, natural Connecticut-ish cigar, which is pretty good to try. And they also have the it's also Gilberto, but it's like a red band. I don't know if it's a different blend.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. No, I don't think it's the same blend though.
It's not the same blend. It's not the same blend. And that one is it's a Sumatra. That's what it is. It's a Sumatra. And Sumatra is also light enough for people to try as well.
I haven't touched those in a while because I remember when I touched a lot of like low end, budget, affordable Oliva when I first started. I used to enjoy the O quite a bit actually. That's like when I first started off. I was like, hey, the O is like very nice and mellow.
Yeah. So the Oliva G, Oliva O, Oliva Reserva, the Gilbertos. All those are really good to start with, and the O and the G both has. I think some of them has Cameroon. Some, there's variation. Like if you just give yourself $100, you can get a few of each and go home and really start enjoying those cigars, right? Okay, so Rick, what name one brand that you think?
For me, I think Drew Estate.
Drew Estate? You think Drew Estate?
I think where I started from. It may, tobacco may have been better years ago, but my journey started off with Drew Estate with the Shade, the Undercrowns, the Nica Rusticas, like those things are a little bit more budget friendly. They have they have multiple labels and faces for cigars, and you could play with what you want, and at least it won't break your budget. Obviously, when you start looking at Liga Privadas, which are like $15, $16, $17 up. But if you're just looking at their other stuff, like the Willie Herreras, you have the Nica Rusticas, you have the Shades, Undercrowns, those are in the budget where it won't like fear you, give you a little bit of fear. You could try different things out to see what fits your palate, and then you could go from that point on. So I just see my vision of Drew Estate is just a stepping stone company. Once you understand, you just move on.
Okay, this is the part where I want to loop back because Martin also mentioned Drew Estate. And I think it's worth to mention that Drew Estate has a lot of taste, a lot of flavoring. It's that they specifically made those cigars to have certain tastes. And that's why they have so much fans. And most people who started out with the Drew Estate is gotta be like, it's right away become a Drew Estate fan because they tend to have various flavor. But I think it's worth to mention that Drew Estate also makes a lot of flavor cigar. And what we mentioned earlier, we want to point out that stay away from those flavor cigars like the Isla de Sols. They have acids, all the brand that with acid. Tobacco is another one that's sweet tip and some flavor. And most uniquely Kentucky Fire Cure. That's one thing that it's aromatic, but it will ruin all the other.
They put the aromatic with the sweet. It's just like, what the hell is going on? Like, holy crap.
And they also made the factory smoke, which I think that in the beginning is fine, but learn to stay off that. Learn to use that as a between cigar, whatever. Don't try to go, you know what? I'm going to learn to pick up cigar flavor, notes, strength on that. It's not going to give you those.
Again, that's the reason why I said from 0 to 2 years. That's a way for you to train how to puff properly. If you want to learn how to retro, you want to learn how to do this. Like, these are cigars, like especially with factory smokes, with the Nica Rusticas. These are very affordable cigars. You could experiment. You could watch your review channels, like Smoke When You Have One, Soul Sauce Assassin, people like that, and you just say, okay, this is what they say. This is how they're doing it. They told us how to do this, and boom, you try it yourself. But instead of going towards opuses and try to do certain things on the opus, and next thing you know, you're crying because now you're homeless, you're sleeping in a dumpster in McDonald's. You could try that on a factory smoke just to get the understanding of how to maneuver the smoke from your mouth, to the back of your throat, through your nostrils. So
half
It's
the
a
people that just
process.
listen to this right now is like scared and run away.
Yeah,
Just
dude.
remember
Like-
that.
You're
Right?
welcome.
Okay,
So-
so let's point out a few specific ones, right? So, for example, the Herrera SLE, that's a pretty okay cigar in their lineup. The Notello, it's actually a pretty good cigar. At one time, they were very cheap. I don't know what happened. And also, be very careful about the undercrown because some of the undercrowns are
They're
medium
punchy.
strength.
Yeah, they are punchy.
Right? So, it's one of those things that I do know they have some cigar that are friendlier to beginner, but at the same time, I wouldn't recommend it all that much, right? All that much. Okay, so let's loop back. If I were to recommend one, I would recommend Ashton. Ashton is another
I was
brand.
gonna say,
Just gonna say
that
that too.
was my second one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Ashton is one of those that has like pretty much more than half the lineup is geared towards beginners.
Yep.
Geared towards beginners, right?
Yep.
So that the cabinets are pretty good. Then recently Symmetry is pretty good, but Symmetry is a little bit more punchy than normal.
Yeah,
I
but
know
they're
a lot
also
of
a little
people
bit more pricey. So
right, and I know a lot of people got to look at the VSGs like, oh, that looked like a boss, but that one's pretty
No.
strong as well. But they do have a lot of like regular Connecticut, regular Reserve,
yeah, like natural ones and stuff like that. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're pretty good with their portfolio for beginners.
And they have those like Cameroon half Coronas. They have earlier, I think Martin says the La Aroma de Cuba or Cubana.
Mm-hmm.
He said. So La Aroma de Cuba is actually made by Ashton. Also, what else did they make? No, they list it under Ashton.
Yeah,
so
they list under
go there
Ashton.
sometimes they're separate, sometimes they're the same cabinet. We just like help them find it, right? Basically. So
Yeah, they probably
and
bought it.
also, Ashton Classic are very light and easy
Oh,
cigar.
very, very light. Even to this day, I smoke an Action Classic in between. So
And also, this is another cigar that you will actually grow out of, which is San Cristobal, which is also Ashton brand.
yeah, but it's also Action brand. Yep.
But this is another light cigar, easy to smoke cigar that you will grow out of. You'll find out you never buy them again after a while.
After a few years.
Yeah.
It's a very light. It's just for me when I'm working. I just need something in my hand.
It's
I
so
did
light. Like
try.
It's cheap.
I tried one recently, and I was like, this is not as good as I remember it.
oh no, it would never be.
I
Yeah.
agree. That part I do agree.
All right. So, Martin, give me another one.
Another beginner cigar.
Yep.
Beginner brand. I mean, I hate to say this, but Perdomo has a lot of stuff that you can try. That's more. I mean, I know they're more medium stuff, but they have a lot of light stuff that I could recommend too.
Yeah, Perdomo is one of those brands that you will grow out of too. And I think the only Perdomo that I will smoke now is a 10-year Sungrown. Everything else is too light. So, and here's the thing. I think a lot of beginner is going to go buy champagne. Keep in mind, champagne does not taste like champagne. So, yeah, don't buy champagne thinking that it tastes like champagne. All right. So, Rick, give another one.
Jesus. He took my answer. I was gonna say Perdomo as well.
But that's all you have? Come on. What else do you smoke?
You also took my second. My second was gonna be Ashton. You said it, and then he said Perdomo. I am drawing blanks.
Drawing blanks? Okay. How about Eric? What do you have?
I would say Mac and
more.
Noodles.
Macanudos? Macanudo
Macanudo.
Cafe? Those are very, very, very light cigars.
A lot of Macanudo.
variations.
Yeah, but a lot of the Macanudos not like punchy and strength. So
They're not. And watch out. I think Macanudo also makes flavor stuff. So that's something you got to watch out.
oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I will throw another one in there. They make everybody cigar. It's AJ Fernandez. AJ makes everyone cigars. Okay. So,
Yeah.
but keep in mind their last calls is one of those things that you grow out of too. You don't want to smoke that too much. But they have the New World, New World Connecticut, New World Cameroon. Anything New World is worth a try. San Lotano. That's also another like a very easy to smoke cigar. Everybody can smoke those cigars. there's no problem there at all. Those are the one that I would say is worthy of mentions. Guarantee you should have tried. Most likely everybody has tried at one point of their life starting to smoke cigar. Do we agree?
I agree.
And I think honorable mentions will be my father's cigar. My father is another one.
It could be, yes. My father, because they are everywhere, right?
They are everywhere. My only issue is that you got to watch out for the string. Some of them, my father's
some of them could whoop ass, man.
yeah. That's one of those things you kind of have to kind of consult the store owners or whatever. It's like, hey, I want to try some of my father's cigar. Which ones are light enough? The Centurion Corona, they're okay. The one with the head on it, what's it called? La Duena or something like that?
I'm not sure.
That's actually okay.
Yeah. That's a good cigar.
Yeah. So, my father has a good range of cigars that you can try. Now, let's move to a normal smoker now. We're talking about regular average smokers now. 2 years in, they already smoke those basic cigars. What brand should they move to? Now, okay. Before we move too far, we're not talking about price, okay? If you can't afford it, don't break the bank. Don't break a bank. These are just suggestions to kind of move towards, but it's not telling you to go spend that much money. Because I already heard some words that sounds pricey. That hurts my ass.
Yeah. Even me, it hurt me too. So.
Okay, so let's start with Eric because he's got to bring out the most expensive things that average cigar smoker should be moving towards.
Fuente.
Yeah, Arturo Fuente. Okay, so we're talking about A Fuente. Okay, Arturo Fuente. These cigars are still affordable. Some of them are still under $20.
Yes.
The Chateau, the short story Hemingways, and they're all about $10 a range. They're not gonna kill you.
It's not to
get pricey. But A Fuente definitely had the quality, definitely had the flavor. Once you get to that point, if you're not looking at a boutique cigar, this is where you're going. Okay, this is where you're going. All right, Rick, throw me one.
EP Carrillo.
All right, EP Carrillo. Okay, EP Carrillo. They make a lot of good cigars, and quite a bit of them win. Cigar of the year, that kind of stuff. Encore is a good cigar. La Historia, Allegiance. Those are pretty okay cigar. And then you move to the Maduros, right? And the Habanos that they have. The La Historia. What else they have? The Pledge. Those are kind of on the punchier sides, right? So those are pretty good cigars, right? And Martin, throw me another one.
So with me, I think once you're like a novice, I think you really need to start exploring like the boutique stuff, like Tatuaje or like a Norsa, even like Dunbarton tobacco, because you get more of a variety of like what's out there.
Okay, so let's mention Dunbarton DTT, DDT, no DTT, right?
Yeah,
Dunbarton
DTT.
Trust, Tobacco Trust. Okay, so I want to mention that is because their cigar are somewhat expensive, right? We can't agree with that, right?
They could reach up to a Fuente price for sure.
Right, but they have some regular stuff, right? They have the Micarita. They have what's the thing? San Compromiso. But San Compromiso is in the higher range as well. It's like $18, $19. Sobremesa is another one that's like lighter and easier to smoke. This one I wouldn't recommend all that much. Umbangog. That's
Umbagog.
Okay.
Yeah, the Umbagog is a good one.
That's a lower end one too.
Yeah. So and then obviously they have the higher end. Once you go to the anything Mystery, the Saka thing, you're like the $20 range.
Yeah.
The Icarita Blacks, all those things start to add up to higher price range, right? And with that being said, mentioning this, we cannot miss Plasencia. Plasencia is another one.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Plasencia is so beautiful.
everybody should try that. Start with the Alma de Campo. That's like a very standard flavor cigar. They also have the Reserva Original. That's a very good start point. And then you can once you get to that strength profile, you can get Alma Fuerte. But Alma Fuerte is one of the best cigar they make. All right,
Oh God, yes. That thing is so good. You can't go wrong with it. If you smoke for like 2 year plus, smoke an Alma Fuerte and you'd be like, damn, I've been missing out. What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that will open your horizon to a lot of flavors, right? And if you want an even more exotic flavor, the Alma de Fuego, with the volcanic mineral and stuff like that, that will actually get you to explore a different side of your taste bud, right?
Yep.
So, all right, Eric, throw another one.
I don't know. I've been on this brand since beginning this year. Is Cavalier. I don't know. Yeah, Cavalier, because they not that punchy and string, but they pack good amount of flavor.
And surprisingly, Cavalier, even though with the gold little slide,
it's not that expensive. It's not that expensive. Yeah,
like sub $10.
Yeah, sub $10 cigar, and they pack really good amounts of flavor. So,
the good one to mention are the White Series.
Yes,
White Series are very balanced. Mm-hmm. They also have the Inner Circle is actually okay, and what they call it, B2, Cavalier B2, BII, Black 2.
And I like the Black Series as well.
Yeah, the Black Series, right. So they're actually okay. They are on the punchier side. Now you start to go in towards in punchier side, darker notes, more chocolatey, dark, smoky notes.
Yeah, like
now you're gonna get
it bring out more flavor of your horizon.
Yeah, you're really kind of explore different things, like you're going some mass manufacturer versus semi boutique, and Rick's had brought out a boutique brand. You start to explore. Once you get to that 2 year point, that's when you like, okay, I can start picking out notes. What do I get? Like, where is all the weird notes that I can possibly try, right? And that's where you start really get going.
Yep.
Rick, throw me another one.
Camacho.
Well, Camacho is obviously we call it the cheaper Davidoff, right?
It is.
Camacho. But recently I did, obviously you start with the Connecticut, you go with the Corojo, that's really, really good. I don't really care for their Ecuadorian or their Barrel series, to be honest. But, if you want really punchy, they have the Triple Maduro, like Camacho Triple Maduro, that's really punchy.
That's like really dark and... Yeah, like you need.
That was the first cigar I ever experienced nicotine sickness.
But to me, it's not that like high nicotine, but it's just very dark. It's a dark cigar, man.
They have a lot of things to try, right? So if it says Triple Maduro, it's kind of warning signs there. Triple Maduro, right? Mm-hmm. But recently we tried the broadleaf. That's really flavorful cigar.
I've been smoking the broadleaf since it came out, and I enjoy it every time I smoke it.
And every year they have those factory unleashed. Those are different. I wouldn't say they're good, but they're different. If you want to explore your flavor profile, Unleash is one of those things you can try once a year. I don't know.
Every time you bring up the Unleash, it's just like me texting you about it. You're like, it's a Davidoff.
It's a Davidoff. Okay. All right. So who do we get next? Martin, throw him another one.
Yeah. So Aganorsa leaf.
Aganorsa leaf. I feel like Aganorsa leaf has a lot of different flavor, but at the same time, they kind of overhype their leaf a little bit. They call it supreme leaf, rare leaf, that kind of stuff. But they're good to try. Also, a good brand to explore different flavor, floral, mineral, barnyard, that kind of stuff. They do have a lot of those. Yeah. So I could definitely.
They're not bad.
I can definitely recommend those. So the rare leaf we talked about. The Supreme leaf we talk about. They also have a Corojo that they make. They have a Habano. They have Maduros. Aganorsa leaf, rare leaf reserve. It's a Corojo cigar, which is pretty good.
It is.
And then if you want to go crazy, they have the Guardian of the Farm Sybaris.
Now those.
That's punchy, but it tastes pretty good.
It tastes good,
Pretty good.
But they are
It tastes pretty
punchier.
good. Like I wouldn't recommend the regular Guardian of the Farm with the little doggy on top. I mean, those things gets me sick all the time. I don't know why, but they don't. And
Really?
they don't taste that good. Yeah,
I enjoy them.
I actually do like that cigar, and I pick it up quite often because it's a good medium body until you hit the end and you're like, whoa, full strength.
yeah.
I don't know,
It'll get
to-
you sick every time if you're not careful with it.
Like to me, Organiza have this cigar. It's the Anniversario Corojo. That cigar for $15, flavor bomb. Flavor
The
bomb. Man.
Anniversario. Wait, the Anniversario is Corojo? I thought the Anniversario is actually Connecticut.
No, they have a Maduro Connecticut broadleaf and a Corojo one too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, and just to keep in mind, they do also make Lunatic, which I advise everybody to stay away from. And they also make JFR, and I've got to be very honest with you, JFR is a bundle. Do not smoke that.
Do not touch it. Okay, so JFR, I buy it to San Antonio for jokes and stuff like that. So think about it. It's not a cigar that I don't think anybody should pick up just to smoke.
Yeah.
That's
It's not
just
something to enjoy. Not something to enjoy for sure. All right. So while Rick is gone, let's go to Rick. Let's go to Eric again. So Eric, throw me one.
I would say like CAO.
CAO. Yeah.
Yeah.
CAO has a good range of regular strength and to ultimate strength. We're
Yes,
talking about that.
it's like it could go nuts or it could be
Right.
nothing.
Like for example, the mortal coil that will get you sick, right? The flathead that will get you
Flathead.
sick.
Man, but man,
Right.
the flatheads for beginning, for flathead to me, like I say, it holds a special place in my heart because that was my first
Yeah,
cigar.
because you're dumb enough to smoke that as a first cigar, right?
Yeah.
So they have sessions. They have the X, the MX, the BX.
Yeah, the BX3.
But they
They
have
have a-
all already medium plus range. So that's something you have to be careful with, in terms of smoking those. You also have to watch out that they do have flavors. But I would think that if you're a novice smoker, you already know what flavor
You
it
already
is.
know what flavor, yeah.
And kind of stay away from those. The CO America is actually well known,
Very well known, yeah.
And obviously, I don't know what the big hype about Amazon Basin, but they do have Amazon Basin. It tastes like Amazon Basin. Okay.
Hey man, leave the hype alone, bro. I need it for views, okay?
Yo, 1 out of 10. But how
my God.
I think it is, people who are listening, tell me if I'm right or wrong. When you go through 3 weeks to potentially maybe a couple months with just a dry season and it rains for the first time, the smell of petrichor that's in the air, like that wet earthiness, that's how the cigar tastes to me.
Nope, that's not how the cigar tastes to me. You know how the cigar tastes to me? You go out with a bunch of friends to camp for the very first time in a big swamp, and then you decide to do one of those hanging and the thing that hang on the tree looks like a thing. You hold onto the rope and then just hang off and jump into the water. You look at the water. The water is black and green, and then you swing and your hands slip. You fall into
Wow.
that water. You got up. You smelled it. You're like, Amazon Basin.
Oh shit.
Okay, so Rick, last one before we move on.
La Flor Dominicana.
La Flor Dominicana.
Oh man, that's punchy, boy.
Yeah, that
That's-
where
Oh, cigar. I was gonna say that for later on, but
yeah.
Yeah, I was going to wait for that
so-
one for later.
yeah.
They make a lot of punchy cigars. They make a lot of flavorful cigars.
They-
It's really
they
hard to
do.
tell what they are too, because they all look the same. Like
Bro,
all the
yeah.
They
LFD
have
single man,
Ligero. They have like double Ligero, triple Ligero, and all that in
Yeah.
there, man. Like you pick one up, like you say, LFD double Ligero, stay the fuck away if you're like beginning.
But I guess the easier way is to recommend a few. So Lennox, a really good cigar, Lennox,
Yeah.
right?
They also have like the
Andalusian
cabinet
Gold, if you
series.
can find it. right? Andalusian boy, if you can find it. The Colorado Oscuro, if you can find it, they're kind of expensive, but they're not too bad, right? The cabinet, the Cameroon cabinet, number one.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Those are really good. I would say stay away from the double the hero natural. They are actually very, very like it'll burn you.
It's punchy, man, punchy.
Yeah, when I say LFD, I mean like the lights LFD, like light.
You lying? Shut up.
The floor.
Yeah, you're lying. And they also have the La Volcana. That's actually a very like a little bit salty cigar. It's actually pretty good, right? They have what else is like a special? Yeah, other than that, it's all really punchy stuff. The problem with LFD is that they make so many different cigars every year.
Yeah,
and the L500.
But tell the truth, like you know those LFD football cigar? Tell the truth, they're like, go smoke them. Watch your football game.
Those are for people who collects them. They're not really meant for smoke.
Hey, I smoke them every time my team win a Super Bowl. Okay.
Wow, no wonder you don't smoke a lot of those.
What are you talking about, bro? Don't play me like that.
Capitulo is a good one from them too. And that's LFD. That's the thing. When you go to a LFD cabinet, everything looks the same. Yeah, like all of them just have that single LFD.
That's LFD. Yeah.
Yeah, but the notable one we basically just named it, right? So just make sure you watch out for those ones that literally have the Ligero in their name. When they say Ligero in their name,
they're not
joking. Yeah, they're not joking. So just be very careful about that. All right, so we're moving on to the expert. People have smoked for more than 5 years. All right, they know what they're doing. They need advice on what to look for. What will we tell them to smoke? Let's start with Martin. Now, I will say that even if you smoke for a long period of time, it does not mean that you increase or, power up all of a sudden.
He just goes super beast mode.
Yeah, full string cigar.
He's like all the strong one. Like, damn, boy.
Well, fuck the cigar. Just eat the tobacco. Just go to the farm and just eat the leaves.
But let's also say this, right? Padron is also for semi all range. You can smoke that as a beginner. The 1000 series. You can smoke those, right? They're pretty good. But I also say that between regular novice all the way up to expert, you start exploring something like the 1926 or the Family Reserve or the other one with the year 1964.
Yep.
50-year anniversary. That was a great cigar, but heavy as fuck. Be very careful about that one.
Whoop ass, boy. Whoop ass.
Yeah. Right, and then they have their I would say just pick up a sampler. They have those sampler for like $150, and it has like 5 cigars in there. That's actually a pretty good price for particularly Padrones, right?
Yeah, they're not bad because they give you a good variety of all the Padrones in there too, in their lineup.
Yeah. So I mean, different sizes. They have the different wrappers, and I think that's a pretty good cigar to smoke. Okay, let's move to Eric.
I'm going to take your brand. Davidoff, baby.
All right, Davidoff. Yes. Right. So if you move into a Davidoff, you're moving to what we call the luxury, right? It starts to be a luxury range of cigars. I would recommend to start. First cigar, don't even wait. First cigar, late hour. Late hour should be the first Davidoff you smoke, because if you smoke anything else, you might be disappointed.
Yeah, you might be very disappointed. You're like, damn. Because you know what my first Davidoff was? A millennium.
Yeah, millennium. Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? What's all this Davidoff talking about?
Yeah. I think a lot of people like, so, okay, I heard all this thing about Davidoff. I'm going to go in there and pick up the cheapest cigar possible and then see if I can go with it. And a lot of them will pick up a Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
And and they made the big mistake of their life, because that cigar, number one, is not very cheap. Number two, that thing has like almost no flavor to me.
No flavor,
it's really
man.
boring. Yeah. So if you want to go with it, first cigar should be late hour. And then after that, you can explore other cigar from Davidoff at the Explorer, the Discovery series, which have the Nicaraguans, the Dominican, and the Oscuro. Oscuro is punchy. Esquire is very punchy. And then you can, from there on, you can also move to their signature for the lighter, more flavorful, but lighter cigars. And obviously, if once you get used to that one, go with the Aniversarios.
The thing is, like, Davidoff have a huge range of like flavor profile. Like you get punchy, you get smooth, you get nutty, you get creaminess, you get everything in one brand. You know what I mean?
Chocolatey, coffee.
Yeah.
Davidoff is one of those brands that you can be a beginner and smoke for 20 years and never change a brand if you have to. If all they have is Davidoff in this world, you'll be able to smoke 10 years. Right?
Like, they're so good with diversity. Yeah.
There are quite a bit of different cigars. In terms of flavor profile and strength, and obviously once in a year they have the Zodiac
like
series,
those limited edition, and if you ever find that 2022 double perfecto, grab the box. I don't care what year you're in, just grab the box.
Yeah, right. 2022 LE double perfecto from late hours. One of those boxes that I personally will grab it at most prices. Like they can name their price.
Like,
they also have multiple other like limited editions every year. Like before it was the Chef edition. So not only they have the yearly Zodiacs.
I recommend the Chef edition. Chef's edition is more for people who's exploring different flavors.
Well, no, I'm just saying that you're saying the duration of like you can smoke this this brand basically forever. Every year they're releasing something different. We have the Zodiacs, but they also have every 2 years they release something like the Chef edition or Master Selections, and they're always introducing something different.
We're not even counting the exclusives for other chop too. It's nuts. It's so crazy how much like Davidoff have a crazy amount of reach.
They're vast.
I will say that even though we're talking about expert smokers, people who are experienced, I will still say that for most price ranges, stay away from the Master Blend series. That thing is $40 a stick, $50 a stick. It's not.
I keep asking. I asked you about that cigar a couple times already. Like,
yeah,
because I was like,
they are very expensive. I don't think they're worth those price. If you got to try Davidoff, stay with the thing that they are famous for, right? And every year they have Vault series re-releases of all good cigars that they know they sells. Those are really good to try as well. Okay. And we go to Martin again. Name another one. Throw it. Throw down. Okay. I figured you will name a few boutique. So. Okay. Espinosa. Let's just do one at a time, right? So Espinosa, obviously they're well known Murciélagos, right? Murciélago, they're all slightly punchy, spicy, burns your nose. They have obviously the Knuckle Sandwich series has doing really good recently. They also have the Wasabi, which people love for some reason, that the Candela people love. 601 Black, surprisingly, is not a strong cigar. 601 Black is not a very strong cigar. Espinosa Crema, and Naranja, those kind of stuff are actually pretty good to smoke internal from that profile. And it's not expensive either. They're about $15 range-ish. So for people who's exploring different flavor, that is a good choice. All right, let's go to Rick.
Fuente.
Okay. All right. That should not come out from your mouth. Bro, to be really honest with you.
Fuente.
Okay, I need to be all right. CLE. They were like they used to be the people behind Camacho.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a lot of people. When like I said, I'm a baby. I'm the youngest here, obviously.
Yeah, that definitely. Once you say that, yeah.
But I was told that when people used to smoke the Camachos made by CLE, that it was a little bit like it was better.
Okay, so let's go with that. Okay, CLE. So for CLE, the most notable ones are actually the Iroha and the Asylum. And the Asylum series is one of those like a lot of people would, like, okay, that's a very punchy cigar. So they have the Medusa, they have the Asylum 13, and it's all punchier stuff, right? is for people that like punchier stuff. For most people, I think they would just go with the Iroha classics. And that's all I know about CLE because I don't smoke a lot of CLE cigars. So, Rick, what would you recommend out of the CLE lineup?
I'll change my answer to make it more so people know more about Alec Bradley.
Did you just change your answer?
Yeah, he did.
You just changed your answer?
Yes.
Because he came name nothing from CLE.
Okay. All right. So Alec Bradley, my personal problem with Alec Bradley is their construction issues. Like, okay, they tend to have cigars plugged, but some of their cigar does have flavor and people are liking it. For example, the Kinzuki, people like it. I don't like it, but people like it. The Magic Toast, people like it. And, it's got flavor. It's got pretty good overall enjoyment for its price.
Yes.
Project 40, some people like it, the Maduros. That's something that people like to smoke. The Gatekeeper, I particularly did not smoke that one because it looks kind of scary. It's like a head.
It looked kind of weird, man. I don't know,
Yeah. But some people like it. Some people like it. To be honest, like Alec Bradley would not be a selection for me for being 5 years in.
Oh no, that's like.
So 5 year in, I will say that's actually to the 2 to 5 years, not gonna be 5 year in, because once you get that palate, you will not like Alec Bradley. So yeah, Rick, for you tried both times.
All right. And just for added context, like I know I'm young, so I'm 26. I'm only been smoking for 5 years, quote unquote.
So this is.
But honestly, it's because I'm very limited with my selection. Most of the selections that I've tried, we already discussed. So I'm just gasping at straws at the moment, to be honest.
Okay, good. Let's go to Eric.
I like Castagli. I know Martino like this cigar, just not the one with the freaking guy for the band. Just it's weird guys on the band looking at me. No, but Castagli, I like the Daughter. I know Tony don't like it either. Daughter of the Winds, I like them. I keep buying them on different Vitolas and stuff like that. And yeah, I like them a lot. Castagli, they're like kind of boutiquey as well.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's one cigar. I only smoke one cigar, so literally I don't have much input on that one because it will be something worth exploration because they don't have a lot of things like they have what
they got only a few.
Yeah, it's just different Vitola with a different name, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So now in turn of 5 years in, there's a lot of cigars that we will be smoking because they're new, not because they're whether or not they're beginner or not. So I want to mention that because we tried a lot of cigar over last year that we smoked many years, but because they were new, we tried it and they're pretty good. For example, La Aurora, 120th anniversary, that one was surprisingly good, especially the Perfecto.
Oh, the Perfecto is so good. It's so good.
And recently the Aventura, those series, even though they are like basic price, they are
so basic. They are so basic, dude. You get like a Robusto for like $10. You know what I mean?
And they taste amazingly good for some reason. And for that price, even if someone who has been smoking for a long time will be shocked of how good they were, right? What other brand that I can think of that are rare, but okay. So Rick mentioned Fuente. That's basically Opus X. I'm not an expert at Opus X. I can't tell you, but like all of them look the same to me. Like literally, you don't even know what name is what. I mean, I can't even tell the difference between God of Fire and Opus X. What's the difference between?
That's what I was going towards. God of Fire.
No,
right.
well,
I don't
first
know
of all,
anything about them.
God of Fire and Fuente is a whole different thing. It's a whole different branch. God of Fire is a step above regular Fuente, but a step down from Opus.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. That's why when I said Fuente Fuente, I was referring to God of Fire.
Okay. No.
God of Fire. Just say God of Fire then.
Yeah, they just say God of Fire because
That's the brand. Okay.
no.
Yeah, but I can tell the difference. I being
If I was
honest,
gonna
I
say
can tell
Opus, I would have said Opus. But when I say Fuente Fuente, I was gonna.
well, Opus.
No.
Opus literally on the band
This
is FF.
It say Fuente Fuente Opus X on it.
Where's my sword?
Yeah, you're okay. Opus it literally says FF on top of it for Fuente Fuente. Okay. Gee. Yeah, I don't know a lot about those, but obviously.
But God of Fire have the special edition, like the KKP, which is in the Open X realm. So, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
always the Shock people like a lot to try. Shock, Eye of the Bull, and what else? What's the other one?
the shark. And
I already say the Shock. There's one more. Purple Rain. Purple Rain. People love Purple Rain for some reason.
Yeah.
It's few of things that they can try. Another honorable mention. I had to mention this. Dom Pepin Garcia.
very surprisingly, for me, the regular Dom Pepin, okay, is whatever, right? That's in like 2 to 3 years of smoking. You go for those. Mm-hmm. But the limited edition ones, man, some of them are banging, man. So yeah.
I mean, even the original. Okay, we talk about the regular one. Original, it's flavorful. It's good cigar.
No, it's a good cigar. Yeah, for what it is.
That's a really good cigar, right? And they have those Cuban classic. It's not bad. All right, it's not bad. But that 20th anniversary is good.
It's some like what? I mean, you smoked like 5, 6, 7 of them already, bro. And like
we struggled to buy it, but we still bought it. Like, is this really like $40? But then we end up buying it.
Well, you're like, damn. We smoked so many.
To mention that Dom Pepin is part of my father's collection kind of thing. So yeah. So for those people who can't find it, they went to the store. I'm looking for Dom Pepin. I don't know where it is. Well, they actually most likely will be right next to my father's.
They are
cabinet. Just to mention it. But they do have a lot of good cigars. And I would say Dom Pepin, even that is still our range, at least for a novice and up. If a beginner, it might be a little too strong. Not a lot, but it might be a little too strong. But majority of the time, that is a cigar that everybody can enjoy. All right, can enjoy. What about some of the cigars that we didn't mention? What would be some honorable mentions? Rick, give me an honorable mention, a high-end cigar.
I'm empty. Except I'm limited where I'm at.
I would say
I'm still exploring. I'm trying to explore to that realm.
But things like this high end, it could be for novice and expert. Is Byron's, Atabase. They are a higher end cigar, but they're not that punchy and strong.
I have to say, a lot of Byron tastes very similar to me. Like all the Byrons I smoked,
a lot of Byron, yeah.
They are very similar. So you can choose whatever, and they probably taste about the same. But if you are gonna go to Atabay range, you're spending $40-something, $50. I will say make sure you're at least that 5-year.
Oh yeah, you need to be up there, man.
Yeah, because
you can taste it.
You really have to enjoy it, right? So I will be very careful about that one.
Yeah.
Martin, what about another honorable mention for you? Okay. I had one in my head earlier, and when he said the Atabay, I just draw a blank right after that.
I mean, maybe we could mention somebody's number one cigar for 2023, the Sensia Etafel.
The Etafel? Okay, so that cigar.
It's $65. It's a flavor bomb, amazing, and it's definitely complex.
Problem with that is that it's not a regular release. It's a limited edition, and right now it's already hard to find.
Yeah, it's like right now, like our group is going nuts. Just people just buying.
But yeah, if you're at the 5-year mark, you already tried a whole bunch of things, so you're in the same boat of trying to find cigars to explore.
I think that's for like that type of cigar, you need to be like 5 years. That's when you know you want to collect stuff now. You start wanting to buy limited, like good shit, right? So yeah.
What about?
I'm not saying other cigar is not good, but it's a whole nother level of that.
What about another honorable mention would be the HVC 500. That one is really, really good.
Tony, I bought you onto that one too.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
man,
I was surprised. I was like, it's gonna be another one of those.
because I was surprised when I smoked it. I was like, yo, this thing is pretty flavorful for what it is, dude.
Yeah, that one is surprisingly good, and I think people should give that
to
a
me,
try.
a lot of HVC, in my opinion, is very underrated.
Mm-hmm.
They go under the radar with the HVC, in my opinion, though.
Do you have any other honorable mentions? No, nothing.
No, I'm thinking.
Yeah, once you get to 5-year range, you just exploring what's new. It's really hard. You smoke 5 years, you smoke a lot of cigar, right? So it's just, at that point, it gets really hard to find different cigars to smoke while you're at it.
Like what?
Okay, what is it?
No.
I mentioned that already. I mentioned that already when you say asking myself. Yeah, I did that. Okay.
Hey, Serenos are good, right?
Serenos are good, but I think that the longer you smoke, the more you sway away from that too.
You do.
Right? I mean, even like Partagas and you know what? For Rio Tego.
Oh yes, Tony, you are right. Rio Tego is pretty good. It's pretty good for what they are.
They really did a good job taking over, and then you know, German, and then release their own thing in partnership with Davidoff.
And the owner is not a dick.
Yeah, the owner is really nice. Yes.
Yeah, he's actually very nice. He's every time like when our review popped up, he come in, he's like, all right, I gotcha.
Yeah, that I mean, Suma is really good. Generoso is really good. Elegancia, not as good, but still pretty good. I like those. I really do like those.
I just went to Suma today.
Suma's good.
Suma,
very
So
good.
I enjoyed it.
Me, Tony bought a box of those. You know what I mean?
Yep. They are so good. I think that would be it. I mean, I hope that this list kind of helps some people. I'm pretty sure a lot of people who smoke for a while say, I tried all of those and there's no problem.
Probably.
But, you know, this list is purely a suggestion, like what we smoke, what we think of when we are thinking about trying some cigars, trying new things, not necessarily to be a definitive list for people to try. You know, because there's always something there. Like even if you don't like this year, next year there's something new. Right?
It's always something new.
Yeah, use those lists as a basis, and maybe if you haven't tried those brands yet, go try those. I mean, the ones that we named, those are usually available in most cases. And you should be able to find them. Honorable mention not to buys. We'll give each one do an honorable mention not to buy. Okay, so we start with Rick. Honorable mention not to buy. What cigar not to buy?
Jesus.
I don't want to be
We
in
can
this
come
one.
back to you if you don't have one.
Yeah, I'll come back. They come back to me.
Okay, all right, Martin. Honorable mention not to buy. Okay, all right. Eric, honorable mention not to buys.
Don't touch any avos.
You know, I don't think Avo is bad, but Avos, if you're gonna smoke Avo, you love floral. If you don't love floral, don't buy Avo.
Yeah, but that's
Floral,
all. The
either.
avo is just my opinion. You know, I would never touch them.
All right, I only have one stick for this year. Honorable not to buys is the Rocky Patel Conviction.
Oh
Pay no
man,
money, don't buy that one. Don't buy that one.
the conviction is actually not worth any penny.
I wouldn't say not worth any penny. I'll pay like $1 for that case.
Hey, no, I paid $2.50 for the case. Okay.
Yeah, see, like it's not worth any money. It's just that it's not worth the total amount they're charging. It really
Yeah,
is. It's not.
the amount they charge for that cigar If it was lower, like a lot lower, like a whole lot lower, then we might could talk. Maybe. See, but the thing is, like, you notice that we didn't put any Rocky Patel in the beginner stage. There's a reason.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a name that we haven't mentioned either for my don't buy.
Okay, all right, go for it.
Gurkha.
I won't even say don't buy Gurkha. I won't
buy it.
Because there are
Try
some
it.
people. You need to try. You need to try what the ground tastes like. Right? For those kids, like when you grow up, your parents like, hey, don't eat the dirt. This is your chance. When you grow up, you're in your 20s. Finally you can smoke a cigar. First thing you try, go eat some dirt. Okay. All joking aside, all right. Some people love earthiness. Some people love barnyard, and if you do only like those two flavors, and you want a lot of those and crazy amount of smoke output, go get a Gurkha. That's what you want. It's a very specific type of people that likes it, right? Yeah. And usually, if you like one spectrum, which is the normal spectrum, you wouldn't like Gurkha. But if you like the other spectrum, you don't like floral, you don't like chocolate, you don't like coffee, you're like, oh, all those sweets are shit, then you go to Gurkha.
Who would say that, man?
I have a comment. I'll keep it to myself.
I gotta tell you, there are some people that absolutely are fan of the Gurkha Ghost. Absolutely, they would only smoke Gurkha Ghost.
That cigar tastes like nothing. It tastes like nothing, dude.
So there are some people that are fan of Gurkha. Gurkha is one of the most sold cigar in the world.
They're very popular.
For a reason. So, everybody missed the time where they had to eat dirt from the ground or pick up like little worm and say, hey, like earthworm. That will drive you to have that memory, that reminiscence. Like, that's the time when my mom took a stick and chased me out down the street because I ate some dirt and brought back a worm.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, see, that's the thing. I'm not trying to bash any cigars here. It's just a personal opinion, right? If you like one thing, there are some things that you don't like. So
this is all personal opinion.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure we missed some good cigars, but keep in mind we're doing this on the spot, so we didn't go make a list and do that.
We smoked so many cigars in 1 year. It's insane, right? We're not trying to brag or anything. It's just shit, man. We just smoke a ton of cigars. So.
And I'm starting my journey now. Like I said, for the past 4 or 5 years, 7 years I've been smoking now. If I've only been going around like the same maybe 15, maybe 20 different faces. So now, because of my great friends here, they're sending me things I have never tried. So I'm starting to understand, for that 5 year plus mark, where to explore. Like I just had my official, basically first opus. That now that I actually understand flavor notes and all the kind of sorts, because I had one a couple of years ago, but I just smoked it.
Hey Rick, why don't you go find me the wrapper, the blend for the Purple Rain?
All right, let me go somewhere.
You're not gonna find those. Anyway, so I think that's a lot of information for everybody to digest. I hope you guys enjoyed this little informational thing. I mean, like I say, it's only a guideline. It's not a definitive. And you might hate all of the cigar that we mentioned because you are the Gurkha fan, or you could be like, I agree with all those, but I just highly encourage everybody to try everything, right? Try everything. These lists are just for guidelines. Hopefully you never heard of some of the brands and you end up trying them, and then that will, kind of expand your horizon a little bit. And, and maybe we'll do another list as we go. Maybe we'll do one list every year, and we'll see if we change over time too, because we are still changing over time.
Oh yeah, we are changing.
As you smoke, you gotta realize you phase out a lot of cigar. Slowly phasing out this cigar, that cigar just phases out because you realize that that's no longer enough for you, right? That the pepper's not enough, or like you can really pick up the notes now. Not only you pick up the good notes, now you also pick up the bad notes, and then you start to phase out from that. So it's both sides. Okay. So go ahead.
Your palate change all the time, right?
Yeah, your palate will change all the time. As you get older, your senses change, your sensitivity change, all that changes. So yeah, with that being said, that will be it for this particular show. I hope that, you guys enjoyed it and you come back for the next episode. And we'll end it right here. So goodbye.
All right.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
New Year.
Christmas.
You've been listening to the In the Shadows podcast. There's nothing like a fine cigar, and that's our passion. And on the show, we'll talk about everything and anything cigars. And you know what happens when you get a bunch of guys together smoking cigars. The conversations go on. And that is what this show is all about. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. Remember, everything you need is on YouTube at Soy Sauce Assassin. The live show is every Wednesday and Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And get cigar reviews. Wishing you long ashes. We'll see you next time on In the Shadows podcast.